initially was the 19th of February 1945, but I couldn't get in till the next day because of the dead bodies and the vehicle stuck in the black lava sand on the beach. Even when I went in the next morning, there were still so many bodies and stuck vehicles, we had a hard time to land. There was a bunch of infantry tied, they were held down by the enemy, by the Japs. And they called for a 75 pack howitzer to come out and wipe some pillboxes out. And the gun crew that I was attached to volunteered to take the gun into the front lines. This type of gun was, you were able to break it up in 7 pieces and then reassemble it wherever you needed. And we carried it through a 400-yard minefield in all the 200 and some rounds of ammunition that we had to carry through there while being shot at by the enemy. And then we set the gun up and started firing point blank range at 75 yards. I don't know what I should say. The Japanese tried to surrender, but we didn't let them because we couldn't trust them. They ran a white flag up the chimney hole on the top of the pillbox. And the sergeant in charge of the gun crew gave an order, fire at will. And soon the white flag fell over, and at the base of the pillbox burst into flame. That's about all I could really. Of course, we took the gun back to where we was before then and fired from there, but that's the most, was the most, well, we had Japanese come in behind us that night, but there were 2 of them, and there were infantrymen pulled out of the line resting behind us, and they wiped those 2 Japs out. They were headed for the ammunition dump. They would have blown it up. The gun crew was a regular crew, and me and another guy from Buffalo, New York, volunteered to go with them.
Are you crazy?
Well, I don't know why. I just, because my buddies was going, I wanted to be with them, that's all.
Yeah.
My most important buddies was in that crew.
Mm-hmm.
And
from the boat to the island, you turned around and your gun was gone, right?
right.
So
Well, we went out of a duck. The duck is goes either in the water or on land. It has wheels on it. And the first duck went out. It sunk. It went out and went right to the bottom. And then they hollered, disembark. That means get aboard right now. You don't ask questions, nothing. I looked, my rifle was gone. So I jumped on the, I knew I could pick one up pretty quick in there, but it was just the idea of the thing. A guy would take your gun going into combat. Like a family protecting themselves. That's really what it was like. Because that's what the Marine Corps is a brotherhood. And you die for your buddy. That was John Basilone.
Basilone.
Yeah.
That's the name.
Yeah, he was in the 28th. He was in the infantry.
Mm-hmm.
He could have stayed home and went on bond tours.
Mm-hmm.
And he turned down a movie contract to be with his buddies, to be with his men.
And he got killed, right?
An hour and a half after we landed there, him and crew got hit with a mortar, killed them all. And one day I was down to help unload a ship next to the beach, and the sea bees were down there, and they invited us over for pancakes and jelly. Boy, that was like a steak meal to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are CBs?
They're the Navy.
Uh,
They're a construction crew. They can wear a Marine uniform or a Navy uniform. They had a homemade rocket that they had down the northern part of the island. And they never hit the island. We could hear it going over every night. Sounded like a washing machine going through the air. It always went out into the ocean. It was just homemade, and they hadn't had it geared down. They couldn't regulate like an artillery, they could drop it wherever they want to. But one of the first ones landed, we had just cleared the Lodium Airfield number 1. There was 3 airfields on it. And while we was under a real bad fire, these B-29 landed on it. That was a bomber that was coming from Japan. So that saved that crew, or he'd had to ditch it in the ocean. But it was well worth it. We lost a lot of people, but we saved a lot of people.
And it still is the bloodiest battle in Marine Corps history.
Yep.